I love Groundhog Day. Not the day, to be honest, not the holiday, but the fact that there's a movie so good that the holiday is important, at least in America anyway. And so I saw that we had a Death Cinema basically falling on that date. I got so excited that I tried to find another time travel movie that was at least somewhat similar, or time loop anyway, and went, yeah, Run Lola Run. Turns out it wasn't my week. I just did The Gray. But Steve was nice enough that we could put this out on Tuesday anyway, so you get to listen to it. I didn't have to scrap the thing and not make it make sense. So, welcome to Death Cinema. I'm Brian Gillis.
And I'm Steven Maltmanex.
Like most people, we love going to the theater and catching the latest releases. However, we sadly put a big dent in our wallet.
Fortunately, living in the digital age makes the viewing possibilities endless from the comforts of home.
Many of these films that you can see right from your couch, we're ashamed to say we missed, despite labeling ourselves cinephiles.
So join us as one or both of us cross off a title from our list of shame.
It can be an all-time essential classic,
or an underrated piece of cinema that's worth giving a shot.
Hell, it might just be some trashy film we want others to pay for. So sit tight and join us as we pay off our debts, $1 at a time. Yeah, so as I said in the intro, I just picked this kind of blindly because it is a Groundhog's Day tie-in, and it's funny. Like all I knew about this is that it had something to do with time travel, and it kind of works as a parallel to the Harold Ramis classic with Bill Murray. Now, obviously the love angle's there, but it has that same day, different events happen, and you're trying to find the perfect match.
I'm not so sure if it's necessarily being locked in a specific time as much as
Well,
it
yeah,
is.
this is a personal interest in changing the present instead of
Well,
some
that is
malevolent being making you the perfect person or something.
that is the thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that interpretation is there of, you're basically hitting your own reset button and just do it, going back to a specific moment in time to just a do-over, it's like a video game. But I just see it more as like a parallel reality of like if this one thing
Thing is
happened in
different.
this, that's I think that's the entire point. Just if one thing's different in this timeline, then the outcome will be different, and it doesn't affect just the main characters. It affects even the people on the side that we see only for like 2 seconds, with which we see with those elliptical flashes.
Which are really fun too.
Hmm.
I really like the Polaroid nature to those little flash forwards that we get. But I don't know, the message, or not the message, but the way this movie's told through animation, digital film, obviously as we just said, the snapshots, it has a fantastical element to it. So I mean, yeah, Lola is screaming so loud that she's breaking glass. So we're definitely not supposed to take this as something that's realistic. We take it, at face value as some entertainment. And so I wasn't, and I'm still not really questioning why this time manipulation, this parallel universe, as you call it, exists. I just think it's really fun, and it's really good turn of the century cinema. Like it has a very much so it's representative of the age and the changing of the medium with the 21st century on the horizon, really.
I still, just rewatching it, I don't get the sense though that this is like really locked into the 90s. Honestly,
No,
I really don't. I feel it holds up really well. It still feels very, very modern.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is, a year before The Matrix, and a lot of people compare them in terms of the kind of storytelling they do. I mean, obviously, one is more thought out, and it's biblical in scope, and it's a sci-fi epic.
I still
But
think
just
there's a
from
lot more, there's a lot to dig into here though.
Yeah, I'm saying like I just think the two of them, there's similar visual storytelling aspects. Instead of having bullet time here, we have, circular pans around a living room, or these like side cut digital like car planted point of view stuff. Speaking of which, it's funny that it's only been like what 18 years since this, and how different digital filmmaking looks. It looks like shit
You
in
know
this
what? It's
movie.
funny. This is the second time I've seen this, and the first time I
Uh-huh.
saw it was like back on TV. It was at someone's house. I think it was on a cassette tape, and I was like 13 at the time. So I had no
Uh-huh.
awareness whatsoever that half of the movie was shot on video. So renting the Blu-ray, it was really, really jarring,
Yeah, it
honestly.
looks really bad.
Yeah, and I was just, I mean, I was just kind of looking at it. It's like it translates. It's decently upconverted for the Blu-ray, except for a couple shots which are just really, really jarring, and there's a ton of aliasing. But I don't know, weird choice. It wasn't until halfway through, I mean, where I thought about it of why they would do that as a choice. I mean,
I think
and
it's just for portability.
well, the thing I noticed was that, and I didn't go back to look at the earlier scenes, but I realized that all the scenes without Lola or Banny are all shot digitally, or no,
Yeah,
not
all the
digital,
little
video. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
video.
video then. Yeah, it's
All
not
the
digital.
sides. Yeah, it's all mini DV or
Yeah,
it's
like
probably high 8 actually.
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, just I don't know. That's interesting.
It is.
Maybe it's just I don't know to show like reality versus their hyper reality or something. I don't know because I mean
What
all the
year?
stylized shots are shot on film.
What year was 28 Days Later? It was like 2002,
2002,
2003.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
it was
I
like
mean, this
about
is like
4 years after
yeah, like
this.
4 years later and the digital there, the video there still looks really good.
Well,
All of that cityscape stuff in the beginning.
I'm guessing
Um,
though that they had a DI on that they were able to throw in some filters,
Probably.
so that's definitely a part of it. I mean, this is more like Dogma 95
Yeah,
video.
that's the vibe I definitely got from it. I mean, also it being in German kind of lends to that nature too. But yeah, I mean, it definitely has the same kind of aesthetic, minus the more high tech and filmic stuff that happens when the lovebirds are on screen. It's given on the show that I like the rom-coms and the romance and that kind of angle. I don't feel it here. I don't. There's really no explanation for why Lola is so enamored by this guy that she would go out of her way to try to get $100,000.
I don't know either. I mean, I don't think I was necessarily as impressed by this the second time as I was the first,
Hmm.
but I feel it is just more stylistically that this movie is engaging, that it is and just conceptually, like I feel like it's more, especially with that intro, the main question that's being asked, which the
So
basic
the
point
two
is, yeah.
questions.
Well, I mean, the basic point is, what's the point of anything? And then you have like these three different parallel realities that just show like, hey, shit can happen. It could go either well, good for you, or it could go very badly. And there's just that's it. Just things just happen, and you got to go with the punches. And I mean, that's the main point that I get of it. That's the thesis of it, and it presents this concept in a very interesting and entertaining way. That's so I don't feel it. I feel it's more about the philosophical ideas rather than the characters themselves. Yeah, I don't necessarily connect with them whatsoever, but their situation is an entertaining one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, like I said, I didn't try to pick apart the logic of these time jumps and these redos because it's just so fun. Like, it's such a frenetic movie, the pace it moves out. Like, it's called Run Lola Run or Lola Rent, and she's running throughout the damn thing, and so is the runtime. It's like 77 minutes, and it feels it. Like you're going through the same thing 3 times, and it's boom, 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 boom. Like it has it's cut in like a really breakneck
Yeah,
He
I mean,
just really, really fast,
now
but
despite
not
the fact that this is like 80 minutes long, I do think this is one of the fastest paced movies I've ever seen in my life.
even though it kind of cheats since you get so used to the setup and the shot, especially that opening with the phone hanging up and running down the stairwell. Speaking
Hmm.
of, I really like that reverse pan when she's leaving the hallway, you go into that lady's room, it goes around her chair and then onto
The
the
mother,
screen.
yeah,
Is that a mom?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well,
Yeah, it makes
yeah,
sense. It'd probably be the mom. But and then it goes into the screen. Very cool
it's
segue.
kind of like
Very, very
just
nice
tumbling
animation
down the
stuff.
rabbit hole moment. I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm thinking that could be it too.
that's what I got of it. Plus, fuck that dog.
And fuck the owner too.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sliding Doors with
No, no, no. I know.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
I know. You took 2.99, right? Yeah, that's where I
Yeah.
first heard of it, and I saw a clip of it, so I know the concept
Yeah, I
of it.
saw a
But
clip
yeah,
in there. I tried to seen it before then. It has something similar to this, except it's a much more extended parallel universe examination. Like, but it has a point just like this movie does where it branches off. And that one, it's also like brought on by a subway, and it's like she gets off, and it's like, well, what if she stayed on and talked to this guy? And so you see like 15 minutes of what she's doing in path A, and then like 15 minutes of path B, and then back and forth, and kind of like converges and goes. It's very slow, so it's pretty boring, but it's just one of those interesting plot and story dynamic type things that don't happen often. Like this is almost there, but that's much more experimental. Like this, even though it isn't linear per se, you can very clearly understand what's happening. It's not really much to digest, whereas that is, well, it's British too, so it has that thing going for it. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I really like this movie though. I agree with you. I don't know how well I would receive it on a second watch, but I understand why a lot of people say it's something you have to see, especially that opening when the people actually walk into place to spell out the title and the clock
Yeah.
stuff. Like it has it's like a Brazil almost, like a Terry Gilliam thing at some moments. It has like a music video pace to it, the way
There's
it's
like
cut.
it's like MTV, and then there's hints of
Yeah,
German expressionism with that thing in the clock too, which I guess is also a
yeah.
Gilliam influence as well. Yeah, I didn't think of that. But the main thing I gotta tell you this: what's so nice about Blu-ray is that they have lossless high def tracks on there, and I have a decent speaker system. Holy shit, is this movie loud, dude? Like my
With the
house,
banging club music,
it was
industrial
vibrating
music.
like, and I was fortunately I picked the time to watch it where I knew I would be alone in the house. Oh my god, though, it's amazingly loud. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen this, like, and I felt like I was in an IMAX theater in my own home. It was awesome.
Yeah, this probably kicked ass in the theater. Just the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Especially like imagine like you're because this was playing, at like the little one screens or six screen like college town type
Hmm.
theaters, and you go into that and people are like, I was not expecting this music. I did not get like
The
feel like
walls were
Strange
freaking
Days.
vibrating for me. So like it was insane.
Yeah, I did not have that going for me. Still
You
very.
got surround sound headphones though. Yeah.
I didn't use them because it's in German.
So
I'm just saying I didn't have to.
that's got
But
nothing to do with the language at all. There's the effects, there's the music. I mean,
eh,
come on, man.
I don't know. I the way I see it, I was like, well, I gotta read subtitles anyway. What's the point of wearing the nice headphones?
Well, you don't have to focus on it, but it makes a difference whether you're paying attention to it or not.
I'm sure.
Just
I
saying.
didn't though, is what I'm saying.
That's a
The
bummer.
fact that I was reading the subtitles.
I don't know why you would make a choice based on that logic, but okay, whatever.
I wear headphones to do the podcast, so my ears don't like being stuffed up for too long.
All right.
It's funny that this never got or hasn't yet. I don't want to jinx it. A American remake. Is it just because it's such a weird indie thing that it wouldn't make sense? Like someone wouldn't try to make money off
Well,
of
you
it?
know what?
Or,
Here's I did not do research on this, and I don't know if you
uh,
read on this, but and I
no, I didn't either.
okay, well then I maybe I should look this up, but I think that this is supposedly a ripoff of a film by Krzysztof Kieślowski.
Yeah, I know the name. I've seen Ariel and the Three Colors Blue.
Yeah. I could see it but I really should look it up actually because I'm sure it's on the wiki page for Run Lola Run. But I remember taking German cinema and someone in their presentation made that clear of like, yeah, conceptually, it's the
Oh yeah, it's
same
called
idea.
Blind Chance.
Yeah. But
Oh yeah,
yeah.
this is definitely
Yeah,
that's
about a
what
man
it
after a
sounds like.
train has an ordinary incident. Yeah, so maybe I have
With
to see
different
that.
occurrences.
But
He's a weird filmmaker.
you know what? He's
Very bizarre stuff.
definitely gets far more out there and far more metaphysical, but there is some great stuff. You know what? Some of his early stuff though is really good. Camera Buff is a great one. People should check out. That's a really nice, more character-driven movie, far less arty. But
I
no,
mean, I'm not big on art films.
that's what I'm saying. It's not arty.
Yeah,
What's it
most people
really?
aren't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's different from what his later what he's known for. Yeah. God, I want to watch Red again though.
I only saw white. Did I see blue? No, yeah, I saw white. I saw the one with Juliette Binoche.
Yeah, Red was shot in my hometown, so
Oh, very cool.
yeah, so it's nice to see that, to see
To see it
places I
on
know.
film.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
It's like one of these days you'll go to a bar where there's a Kowalski fan and you'll get someone's panties off just because of that. Be like, yeah, I actually, grew up in that
I
town.
no, no, I'm not so sure. The
Could
hardcore
happen.
Kozlowski fans, I imagine that those are the hipsters that I don't want to associate with. I don't know.
Ouch. We just lost some listeners, man.
I'm just saying that, hey, there's some people that the people that look to art films and dismiss popular cinema for the sake of, oh, but it's artistic and it's saying stuff. I don't know. Like,
It's a more pure cinema.
yeah, I prefer. I don't know. Well, hey, I don't mean to dismiss them. It's just, some people are very phony in that way. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
And it's just whether they genuinely think that or they're just trying to appear a certain way. I don't know. It takes a while within the conversation to really be able to tell.
So what else have you seen by Tom Tykwer? We usually don't do this, but I'm interested. I've only seen Cloud Atlas, which I guess only partially counts
Yeah,
because it's a
which,
co-directorship.
but I can actually, just based on this, will answer your question. I've seen the International, the movie with Clive Owen against the
About
Banks,
the banks,
which
yeah.
I remember nothing about, but there was a great gunfight in the or shootout in the Guggenheim, and that's all that people really remember it for. Yeah, but and what else? What was it? Perfume. Yeah,
I want to see that. It was
yeah.
on Netflix for a long time and never did. I know it's a murder mystery that like
It might be on
takes
Amazon.
place.
That's how I saw it. But
It could be. I'll have to double check. Because I
it's
mean, I really liked Run Lola, or not Run. I did like this, but I really liked Cloud Atlas, and it was pretty apparent what he brought to that, given that I've seen the Wachowski siblings' other films, and it just certain stories, especially the one about the composer and the
mhm.
author, like they felt much more intimate than the Wachowskis usually demonstrate on film.
Well, it's I. You're saying Wachowskis. I think it's Wachowski, but um,
At least I said siblings. I know Lana isn't Alan anymore,
yeah.
whatever her original name was.
I thought it was supposed to be
That's
the
good enough.
Wachowski Starship. I
Is
don't.
that what it is now?
I read that a while back, and I don't know if it says that on the credits for Jupiter Ascending, but
I don't
I
believe
thought it
so. I
was supposed
believe
to
it
be.
says siblings on that one.
Well, I don't know. Starship sounds awesome. They should have gone with that, but
It's weird though. Well,
yeah,
they are weird.
yeah. But I mean,
So
Run Lola Run, you
that's a
can
no.
definitely tell. Like, I think that's the movie that really why they picked him to do Cloud Atlas, or how he at least got into it to work with them.
Hmm.
Because I mean, stylistically and philosophically, it's pretty similar to their. I don't know. Like, would you say Bound is pretty close to this,
No.
stylistically?
Um, no, that's very much so just a neo-noir.
Yeah. See, I
It could have
imagine
been
that
filmed in
being.
any era between the 40s and the 90s. Like it just Eh, like you should check that out. I really enjoyed that
Yeah, I
a
need to get
couple of
to that.
months ago. Like it's on YouTube. It's on the Paramount Vault. Anyone can see it for free. Well, if you're in America or wherever the copyright isn't withstanding, they have a couple other good things on there too. But if you search for it, you'll find it. You can watch it for free legally. HD even. I think they have a 720 rip on there. So yeah, I don't really got any more to say about this film. I really liked it. Really fun, fast paced. If you have 70 minutes and you want to check something out that everyone claims is good, I doubt you'll be disappointed unless you're looking for something philosophical or something really deep or something where the characters matter. This is just purely eye candy. It's good popcorn fun where you can just turn your brain off for a little bit and see something outside of the norm.
I think it can satisfy multiple needs, whether you want to shut your brain off and just be entertained, or turn it on and really think. Because that's the opening basically asks that
Yeah.
of you right
Well,
away, and
if you've
it's
seen it multiple times, maybe you'll question that philosophy more. But I think it's too much to digest at once while also thinking of a philosophical reason behind the film and it's making all on an initial viewing, such as I had, unless you're very good at multitasking. And the power to you and the viewers.
I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, it's not like you have to get it all at once, but it still gives you enough to really think about these concepts and these ideas. And usually, if it's worth it, then you want to go back to it and see if you can find more. But yeah, I don't know if I will see this all that often. I'm sure I'll watch it again at some point. I'm very curious though to see it in a theater, honestly, because
It would
a
be
home theater
interesting.
was nice and it was loud, but I don't know. It seems like that would be a much cooler place to be.
Yeah, this would probably be really nice at a revival cinema type thing, or even like the ArcLight when they do their older films, when they do the series at midnight and stuff like that.
I've always thought this would make a good double feature with Miracle Mile. Do you know what that is?
The name sounds familiar,
Yeah,
but no.
just because it's not because of time travel or parallel realities or stuff like that, but just as a ticking clock movie. Like that's another thing that we forgot to mention is that for each
Mm,
segment, it's there's 20 minutes. Like time is running out, and it's a it's a ticking clock movie in three different
Yeah,
sections of
it
it.
does
Yeah.
it pretty well. It's just the clock isn't. It's not like High Noon where you see the clock every couple of
No.
scenes where it's a very constant threat, like the looming presence of High Noon coming to you and the characters, it gets you on the edge of your seat. It's like noon happens so much here. You're like, oh, it's noon, it's noon, it's noon, it's noon. But yeah, it's definitely, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It is
Miracle
a
Mile's a
ticking
really
clock
good
movie.
ticking clock movie though. I would we
Nick
might
of
have to get to
Time
that at some point.
with Johnny Depp isn't a good movie, but it is a pretty good ticking clock one. In the same way, I'm sure 88 Minutes with Al Pacino is all right too in that genre, but not as a film itself, because I've heard very, very bad things. Thanks for listening. We hope it's been a pleasure. If you like this show and you want to hear more of our wonderful voices on a weekly basis, check out 2 Cents. I'll recap what's happened in film, TV, and tech news.
We're also on the titular Dollar Review Show, a spoiler-free critique of new releases or anything we've discovered on our own, whether that be TV, music, etc.
You can find all of our content at dollarreviews.net. Follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook at Dollar Reviews.
We're available on iTunes, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, and constantly looking to expand to other platforms.
If you listen somewhere we're currently not available, you'd like to contribute some talking points, send a Death to Cinema request, or if you just want to laugh at us, you can do so by reaching out to us on social media or send an email to brian@dollarreviews.net.
Or you can email me as well, steve@dollarreviews.net.
You can follow me personally on Twitter at Brian Gillis. That's BryonGillis. And now you know how to spell the email too. And also under the same name on the lovely site Letterboxd, which acts as my film diary, where I rate films I'm watching, write the occasional review, and even sometimes compile lists.
You can also find me on Twitter at s_mtx, and also follow my film diary at Letterboxd under the same name, where I log everything I watch and sometimes write brief reviews.
That's it for this week. Until next time, keep the change.